Institute's Youth Development Show, a lot of young individuals lack confidence. They lack the ability to present effectively. They lack good communication skills. They lack leadership skills. There are so many things that people go through here and there, and they have no one to talk to. They have a lot of mental health issues, and there is no one to bring them out of such position. That is why Future Setters Institute has put together this show where you listen to great minds who are experienced in leadership, personal development, and work ethics, where they will impact you and build you to become a renewed version of yourself. What happens is that this person speak, they interact with you, they share a lot of strategies that you can put into your business, into your organization, into wherever you find yourself. It is very applicable. So do well to stay with us, where you are going to be learning effectively. You are going to be building your mindset. You are going to be learning how to grow and how to thrive in 2025. We hope to see you in subsequent sessions. Our program is usually by 3 p.m. West African time. Inform others, share to your friends. You see, what you learn here, a lot of your friends are not even aware of it. And that is why having you in this program, you are an ambassador to Future Setters Institute, and you also have the ability to share this message to people out there. Do well to stay with us. We're going to be for an hour. Just stay with us. Gather your questions, interact. Don't be shy. If you are following, feel free to subscribe as well. Subscribe to our YouTube channels, subscribe to our TikTok platform, subscribe to our Twitter, subscribe to our Facebook. Do well to be part of our WhatsApp group. A lot of things are going on, and you need to be built so that you can become a refined version of yourself. If you decide to hide yourself, we will see you. Definitely. So you need to see how you can build yourself.
Okay. Hello, Nora, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Nora, can you hear? Okay. So, welcome everyone to our live youth development show. We apologize for starting late. It's very great to have you all with us. So, for all of us following this program, we are going to be discussing on the topic developing effective leadership in the workplace, what it takes to founder. So, if you have any question whatsoever, feel free to ask a very great speaker in the person of Nora Bawa, an executive assistant and Nora Bawa. You're highly welcome.
Thank you. Do I have the floor?
Hello, Nora. You can talk to us.
Okay. I wasn't hearing you at first, but now I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello, Nora.
Hi, Victor. Can you hear
You can
me?
talk to us.
Okay. You're welcome to today's
Yes.
live.
Thank you.
I'll be talking on building effective leadership in the workplace, what it takes to be a
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
okay, what it takes to be a true founder. So I would like to say that leadership is not just about leading other people, but effectively also leading yourself. It's about showing people the vision, showing them the way, and also doing what it takes together with them to get to that destination. Leadership is different from managing people or being a manager. As a leader, you lead by example. You show the way, you show others the way, and then they follow suit, right? And I'll begin by saying that there are three M's. There are three M's of any true founder, and the three M's are mindset, modeling, and multiplication. So mindset is about how the leader or how the founder thinks. Modeling is about how the leader acts, and multiplication is how you develop others. Being a leader does not just boil down to leading people; it's also about developing the people that you are leading, so that they are many times better or how many times better than how they met you. So they are not just going to be the same way that they met you, they would have changed. Something about their lives would have evolved. And it goes down to the workplace. When an employee enters your workplace or a new staff enters your workplace, are they going to live the same way that they came, or something would have changed about their life in terms of growth, in terms of development? And that's something you should look out for when you're leading people, even as people who, as founders, people who have businesses. Your goal in leadership should not just be to make money, let people just work for me so that I can make money or grow this organization. It should also be about growing the people, because as the people grow, the organization grows. Hence why we have these three M's. And I said it is mindset, modeling, and multiplication. So let's dive into mindset is about how you think. You need to be able to lead yourself first. You need to be self-aware, you need to be governed, self-governed, and disciplined in order to be able to lead others. Founders who are self-aware, who are conscious of themselves, they exude a positive esteem and confidence, are able to lead others. Um, mindset also has to deal with your vision and your values as a leader. What are, as a founder, what is your vision? What are your core values? They are the cornerstones on which the people you're going to be leading, your employees, are going to want to be a part of the organization. For instance, one of the things people look out for when they are joining an organization, I for one, is the culture. What is the culture of this place? I remember asking and going through an organization that I was interviewing for, and I said, I love the culture of these people and I want to be a part of it just by reading about them on the website, because the culture seemed like something that resonates with me. And what is this culture that we're talking about? The values, the core values of the organization. Does it resonate with you? How do these people do life in this organization or in this workplace? And so mindset also has to do with the vision and the values of the founder. How does the founder think beyond the product or the service that they are offering? Are they thinking about purpose and value? Is it beyond just making profit, or it is about the integrity or the way the people in the organization are perceived, so much so that the people are able to build that organization into the desired vision of the founder. So mindset is another thing. And the third thing under mindset is the founder flexible? Flexibility, adaptability. Are you mentally flexible? Are you able to see a vision, involve people in the vision, and they're able to tell you, sir, ma, this way that you're looking at it from one perspective. Can we look at it in another angle? If you have that kind of mindset, having that kind of mindset makes you a great leader and makes your workspace or your workplace a very effective one that people will want to be a part of. Because why? You're a founder that is approachable, you're a founder that people can reach out to, you're a founder that is easily flexible and adaptable, yet you're maintaining your core values. People can say, oh, this value, the value of delightfulness. Our customers want to feel delightful. We want to make our customers feel delightful. Can we approach it this way and that way? You're open to suggestions. And the fourth thing about mindset is how you think. What is the mental and emotional state of the founder, of the CEO? You know, this is an asset for most CEOs. Being mentally and emotionally stable is a mindset. Being able to, because challenges will come, crisis will come for, especially for startups. In the first 2 to 5 years of every startup, there will definitely be a storm. There will definitely be a challenge. It could be a challenge of gaining customers or retaining the customers or the clientele. It could be a challenge of raising funds. It could be a challenge, whatever challenge it is. How are you able to stand in the face of challenges? What is your energy like? Can the people in the organization, the employees in the organization, look at you and say, I think I want to stay here even though we are going through this rough patch. I want to grow together with this organization regardless of this rough patch. So it has to do with your mindset. And when we go into modeling, you're going to see how to model this mindset to the people that you work with, to your staff. And the fifth thing about mindset is the courage to make decisions. Like I said, in tough times, tough times will always come. What is your mindset? What is your mental capacity towards making decisions? What is your mental capacity towards making decisions? It should always be mission over comfort. So you have a mission or a goal at hand. What is your mental frame to say, I want to take this bold step? Are you courageous enough to take a bold step, to take risk? One of the things founders must have, what makes it, because we're discussing what makes a true founder. One of the things that make a true founder, or that makes a true founder, is the ability to take bold decisions, to take risk. Are you able to take risk? Are you courageous enough to take risk in face of tough times, in face of times when you need to scale up? Some of us, our businesses need to scale up, and we are still playing at a particular level. Are you bold enough to take risk? Now, the second M is modeling how you act. It's not enough to have a very lovely mindset. It's not enough to have all the things we mentioned. You have a very nice energy. You're able to take risks. You're courageous. You have values, and you have a very great vision, and you have core values, very beautiful core values. Beyond that is how you act. How are you able to model this to your people? That is now what forms the culture. So how are you able to model all these things, the vision, the mission, to your staff, to your employees? And one of the ways you can do that is to empower and not control. Founders, true founders, are able to empower. You're able to delegate. the thing about delegation is that we'll keep talking about it over and over again, because we have founders that, I made a post, I think last week on LinkedIn, where I said, since last week Tuesday, I said, since you want to do it by yourself or all alone, here are 5 tools. Since you want to do it by yourself, dear executive, here are 5 tools to help you. Go ahead and do it by yourself, right? And some people found it funny. I saw some executives commenting and saying, okay, we've heard you. But the thing is, what makes you a true founder is that you don't get to do the mundane task. You're focused on the vision. You're focused on bringing in the deals. You're focused on the things that drives the organization, that moves the organization forward. Why are you stuck in doing operations, admin, calculating expenses? That is not for you. You need somebody. We're not saying you should go and hire an entire ton of staff that you cannot pay. No, we're saying get one person that could help with this. And so empower, not control. Act by trusting and delegating. And for those of us who have people that work under us, that have employees that 5 to 10 FTEs, please don't micromanage. Trust your staff to do the right thing. How do you do that? By impacting this vision into them. When people believe in the culture, when people believe in the vision of the organization, when it is encompassing in a way that they can see themselves in the picture, they will be able to do the work without being asked to. They'll be able to be a part of the organization. They'll be able to attend to their responsibilities without being told. The second thing that helps you in modeling is communication. You see, communication is like oxygen. Communication is like oxygen. You need to be able to communicate. I don't think there's anything like over communicating. Communicate and communicate and communicate. Tell the people, if you have weekly syncs with your employees, let it be mentioned in the weekly syncs. Let it be like a reminder. This is our vision. This is where we are headed. This is what we do here. These are the things that applies to us. This is who we are. This is where we are going to. This is where we are currently. This is where we want to be. Communicate and communicate clearly. And then the third thing is character. It's not enough to have a good charisma. It's not enough to be able to talk. What is your character? Are you consistent? Can people see you as a consistent person? Are you honest? Are you calm? Are you honest enough to say, are you transparent? Are you someone that people could look up to, could look at and say, this CEO is honest, this my boss is honest, I'm able to stay here and grow. I'm able to grow here. Don't exaggerate. You know that the organization is going through a rough patch. Yes, it's okay to act strong and act firm to encourage the people that you're working with, but don't lie. Don't over exaggerate and say this is what we've made in the past how many years or how many months. No, this is who we are. What is your character like? Can we trace consistency? Can we see trust? Founders need to be able to clarify this. And then the next thing about modeling is what you're able to, are you able to model what you want to see, in the sense of do you embody what you want to see? For instance, if you want your staff to be accountable or excellent, are you excellent as a founder? Because they are following your lead. Are you excellent as a founder? You embody or you exude the things that you want your staff to exude. So are you excellent? Then you can demand for excellence. Do you embody discipline? Then you can demand for discipline. When you say a meeting is by 3 p.m., do you show up by 3 p.m.? Or you come in 10 minutes later? Then you can expect everybody else to follow suit one by one. Somebody will say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm 10 minutes late. The next time, oh, I'm sorry, I'm 5 minutes late. Why? Because the founder comes late. There's no discipline. So do you embody the things that you want to model? For instance, you want to model zeal, people who are zealous. You want to model that in your sales people. You want your sales guys to be zealous about bringing in deals. Are you zealous enough? Do you show them how to sell? Do you teach them how to sell the product? Have they seen you sell? Do you mirror the things that you want to see? So the thing about modeling is that you have to mirror the things that you want to see. Hi, Victor. Are you still here? Okay, I think the network threw him off. I'll continue. So you have to mirror the things that you want to see. So we've talked about mindset, which has to do with self-leadership, vision, adaptability, wellness, and courage. And then we also talked about modeling. Remember, we were talking about the three M's that makes a true founder. And we said mindset is the first one. The second one is modeling, which has to do with empowerment, communication, character, and example setting. So, are you setting the right examples? That is modeling. People, like I said when I started, leadership is about leading by example. When you set the vision, this is where we are going to, and then you lead the way. Rather, besides, it's not the same thing as management or managing a people or being a manager. Being a manager is that you set the rules. This is what I want you to do, and then you tell the person to go ahead and do it without leading, without showing the way. And so we say modeling has to do with empowerment, empowering the people, delegating, trusting that your employees will be able to do the right thing, communicating the vision at every opportunity you get, communicating the culture. Let it be recitable. If it is a physical workspace, paste it around the workspace. Paste it in a nice way. When people come into your office, they know that this is what we stand for, this is who we are, this is what we are about. And then when you employ new people during the onboarding session, let them know that this is who we are. In fact, it goes down to the interview sessions, the assessment, the interviews. This is who we are. Do you want to be a part of this thing, this big thing, or this particular thing that we are building? This is who we are. This is what we embody. This is where we are going to. I see companies doing that in the job descriptions, and I'm happy. I like it because it's so nice. You're able to tell this is where I want to go to, or this no, I'm not. I don't want to be a part of this. And then you see character, like I said, modeling character. What character do you exude? Are you disciplined? Are you honest? Are you consistent? And then example setting. What examples are you leaving for your employees? What do you want them to emulate? You see some in some organizations, you hear the staff saying, but Oga did the same thing now. Yes, because Oga or Madam or whoever it is or my boss did the same thing. So you follow suit. The employees follow suit. So, example setting is a key thing in modeling. Are you modeling the type of organization you want to see? Are you that kind of person? If you want to see promptness in delivering of tasks, do you model the same thing? Do you respond? If you respond on time, if you want to see quick response to messages, do you respond on time when you're reached out to? And then the third thing is multiplication. This is where the work comes in. This is where another part of the work comes in, which has to do with building and mentoring. Building and mentoring. Mentor, develop, raise leaders within your team. This is going to help you when you're deciding to scale. This is going to help scalability. How are you building your team? When you're not there, can the organization still run effectively? How are you able to pass the vision to another person that that person is able to pass it on to the next person? How are your HODs? Are they able to communicate the vision clearly to their team members? So, like I said, the third thing is multiplication. It has to do with mentorship, building and mentoring leaders within the organization. So being a leader you have to multiply. There has to be multiplication. When you're not there, is there somebody else? Can they still tell that this is XYZ company? And this is what XYZ company stands for. Can the people you have put in charge, the HODs, the team leads, are they able to communicate the vision effectively to the people without you being agitated that your vision is not being communicated rightly? So multiplication is about building and mentoring. How are the team members when they join the organization and when they leave? Are they able to? Can you be able to track their growth? Have they learned something new just by being in the organization? And so this is what, for me, this is what building an effective leadership in the workplace is about. These three M's: mindset, modeling, and multiplication. Thank you. Over to you, Victor. Hi, Victor.
Thank
Yes, I can hear you, but it's breaking. So,
you so much.
hi, Victor. I don't think I can hear you. You're breaking.
It's Nora,
I think Victor dropped off again. Does anybody have any questions? Are we able to take questions before Victor joins back? For those of us just joining, we're talking about building effective leadership in the workplace, how to be a true founder, what it takes to be a true founder. And I mentioned that there are three M's or three things for me that it takes. It has to do with mindset, modeling, and multiplication. Mindset has to do with how you think, how you act, what is your vision, where are you going to, are you self aware of yourself, your intelligence? Um, Are you self aware of yourself, your intelligence, your vision? How adaptable are you? your wellness? Do you have courage to take bold steps and make decisions? And then modeling has to do with empowerment, empowering your team, delegating of tasks, and trusting that your team is able to deliver. Communication, communicating the vision clearly, ensuring that your vision is communicated clearly, it is seen, it is known. Everybody knows this is who we are, this is where we are going to, this is what we do. And example setting. How are you setting the pace? What examples are you setting? And then the third thing I talked about is multiplication, building and mentoring leaders in your team. Who can you leave in charge of your team? Are they able to build? Are they able to? Is your team able to survive without you, even for 1 hour, 24 hours? How have you built and developed the team leads so much so that they are able to also build and develop members of their team? And so this is what we've talked about so far. If you have any questions, I'd love to take them.
A lot of us ask this question: who is a founder? And what are the qualities a founder needs to have so he can do excellently well? Those great qualities you need to have. You want to set up an organization, you want to know what it means to be a founder. Now, a founder starts an organization. A founder holds the vision. A founder has so much in him. He has potential, he has exposure, he has knowledge, he has been groomed differently from others, people around him. People do not have as much experience as he has because he has leadership skills, management skills. He has so many skills now, and he's able to put those skills into practice, or possibly he wants to put those skills into practice for the first time. Another thing. So now there are certain qualities a founder needs to have. First and foremost, a founder needs to be visionary. A founder can see from where he is. He can see that there is something great that can come at the end of this thing I'm going to start. He already knows that this organization is formidable, is very, very valuable. It's something that I can organize. Right? So I actually need to have a vision. And not just have a vision, I should be able to communicate the vision so that others will resonate to the frequency of the vision. Now, this is the vision. I want to build an organization where young minds will be impacted on leadership, personal development, and work ethics, where they will be able to speak with confidence, where they have so much potential in them and they are able to utilize their gifts for a purpose. Now, I am going to start such an organization. That's what it means. And with my knowledge and expertise, I can put this into action, right? That is it. So the vision, I communicate it to people and they say, wow, I can actually work with you. And they decide to devote their time and effort to your organization. They resonate to the frequency of the vision. That is one. Vision. Transformational leadership. So not just transferring the vision, but able to transform the mind of your teammates. Most of your teammates may not be doing very well like you. Most of your teammates may not be to your level. But when you've been able to transform the vision, transfer the vision to them, they also want to be like you and they are constantly improving. So one person changes the mindset of people and also makes them to start working actionably. So that is true. Vision and transformational leadership. A founder has to be a person that has good communication skills. How will you be able to communicate with your teammates? How will you be able to discuss with them, relate with them, tell them that these are the things we want to do, call them to order? You don't have selected persons. You have decided to build a team. Building a team means everyone has to work in that team. Everyone needs to be actively involved with that team. I don't have a favorite. This one is my own. That other person is not my type. That other person, I can't relate with this. I have to be able to relate with everybody so that collectively we can build that organization of our dreams. This is what we want to do. We want to build that organization of our dreams. So before we build that organization of our dreams, we have to effectively communicate with our teammates, know how well they are working. Right? They are working, they are putting in their best in this, they are doing this, they are doing that. What's the result? How is it going? How is that? How is this? You are reaching them for feedback to know how they are effectively working to deliver results. The next thing, the founder he has a very high collaborative spirit, right? You want to work with people. You want your vision to be put into action so that to deliver results. Definitely, you have to be collaborative. You have to see how you can bring them together. Gather them. Mr. A is shared to do something, Mr. B is shared to do something, Mr. C is shared to do something. This is also known as delegation. You have assigned everybody their duties and everybody works together to effectively handle the organization, because unity is very much important in a very great organization. Now, a founder has to have financial literacy skills, because definitely you have to know how to manage your money. It's not everywhere you put your money. It's not everywhere you invest your money. You need to know that money that you have, you need to use it effectively. You need to know how to manage it so that at the end of the month, you know how you are going to share it, how you are going to pay it to people and all that. This also matters because every founder needs to be financially prudent. Every founder has to be financially prudent, has to know how to manage his money and resources. It's very important. He has to have good leadership skills. Another thing, he has to have time management skills. Time management skills. This is all about me saying that at the end of the day, what actually happens is I share rules for everyone. And I'm telling you do this, I'm telling the other person do this, the other person do this, the other person do this. I've told everyone do what you're supposed to do. But one thing is Am I able to track the results? Am I able to know whether Mr. A is doing the work, Mr. B is doing the work? Am I able to effectively gather results? That is one thing that a founder needs to do. Because if you keep telling people do this, do that, do this, do that, and you do not give them a deadline, you don't tell them that this has to be done now, this has to be done this has to be done like this, there'll be a very huge problem. So a founder needs to know how to manage the time of his teammates. You need to know how you manage the time of your teammates. Make them deliver results and set a deadline. Tell them in 1 week time this has to be done, and if you don't do it, you'll be sanctioned. And definitely they will deliver. So you have to make sure you put these things, these strategies, these ideas into action. Ensure that everyone knows his role, his duties, responsibility. And also, leadership is not just a title. Leadership is about action. It's about putting things into practice. You being a founder, you have decided to share the vision, you have decided to do all that, you have decided to communicate it, but now it all falls down to the teammates. Do they feel what you feel? Do they see what you see? If you can actually make them see what you see, then you are good to go. So definitely, leadership is not all about the title. It's about being able to be within them, working with them, trying to see how they generate results and seeing how you use that result and also impact lives. Thank you.
Hello, thank you so much, Nora, for the lecture. Thank you so much, Nora, for your lecture. We do appreciate what you talked about, and we do hope to put it into practice. Um, so, go to the intro the question segment. So, our first question here is what are some of the problems founders face during inception stage, and how can they be resolved?
Okay, thank you. For me, I believe some of the problems founders face in inception stage, early startup stage, could be lack of clarity in vision and direction. Some of these founders, yes, they have the broad idea, but they lack an actionable plan. What is the plan? How do we move from just an idea to reality? I want to produce XYZ app. How do I move from creating an app that helps to check for headaches to actually creating the app, not just in writing or in paper? How do we move from ideation to reality? So some founders lack direction, and this is where mentorship comes in. This is where creating, sitting down with people who have gone ahead of you to map out a right direction. This is also where sitting down by yourself to say, okay, now that I have an idea, this is my vision. Now I need to create goals. I need to set certain actionable goals, smart goals. We all know about smart goals. I need to create smart goals that can. So I need to that could help me achieve this vision. For instance, I want to move from point A to point B, or I want to create an app that checks for headaches. What do I need to do before assembling a team? What are the specifics of the app that I need to create? And so you begin to write them down. So once you ask that question, what are the specifics? What next do I do from here? Then this also has to do with the fact that you need to ask questions. Ask questions. When you're seeking for clarity, it's important to ask questions. And then another problem that founders face is limited resources, especially when it has to do with financial constraints or lack of a proper team or the right team or insufficient infrastructure. But one of the major issues is finance, because when you have finance, you're able to sort out a lot of things. And so we have limited resources is another challenge that founders face. And one of the ways I think we can approach the issue of limited resources, whether it's in terms of finance, in terms of having the right team members, or insufficient infrastructure, is by um, having a lean approach, in the sense of testing your ideas with minimal, just very minimum resources. You have this particular idea, can you test run it with minimum resources? Can you start with a very small team and then you can expand? You don't need to start with a large team first. But we see that a lot of founders just go ahead and hire. Even if you have funding, can you start with a lean team first before you can now scale? Once your feet is grounded, you can now scale. So test your ideas with minimum resources before fully launching a large scale. If it is a product business, can you test run that product? Have you asked? Have you gotten the market view of that product first before launching? A friend of mine is looking to launch an ice cream business, and for 4 months, for 4 months she has been testing. More than 4 months, she has been test running this thing since last year. She has been testing out different recipes. Her goal is to create purely, entirely healthy ice cream. And so she has been testing and testing and testing. And just I think few weeks ago, she posted an ice cream. And I said, "This is enough. We can take it like that. We love it like that." She said, "No, she still has to test and test till she's certain that this recipe is the recipe that's going to work." And in testing, she's giving out to people, "Can you guys test this ice cream? Can you test this?" And people are getting to know that somebody is about to kickstart something, and having a taste of it is looking like. So testing, test running, have a lean approach towards these things will help you in terms of in the challenge of limited resources. And another challenge people founders have is legal and compliance issues. Please um, understand the environment that you're choosing to do business in, and be deeply rooted in the kind of be deeply rooted in the sense of get someone who understands that environment. Get a lawyer. You don't need to handle your legal and compliance. Get someone to handle it. Seek advice, consult with legal and financial experts to set you up with the right structure, because these are things that can cause issues later on. You don't want it causing issues when you scale up. So get your legal structure and your compliance in check. And then another thing that founders face is market fit, service or product market fit. A lot of founders struggle to ensure that their product or their service suits or is relevant to the market's demand. And one of the ways that you can hinder this is, before launching that service or product, do an extensive research. I've done very high profile research for organizations looking to launch, and government bodies looking to launch certain businesses. I had to do in-depth research. I mean, research where you bring in the pros and the cons and say, this is not going to work, let's just shut it down. So you need to do research. And then when you're doing, don't look to start seeking for external funding at first when you don't have your research and everything set up. Do an extensive research. What does the market demand? Is this solution or product going to serve be a solution to a particular market need, people are looking for what is going to meet their needs. So you creating something that is not going to meet their needs is as good as you're not going to sell. And the sole purpose of having a business is to sell. Regardless of your other aim, whether it's to make impact or anything, it is to make profit, is to make money. So test that idea, test that service. Is this what people need? And the final thing I'm going to say is time management. A lot of founders lack time management. They don't know how to balance the numerous activities. You have investor calls, you have this activity, you're having you have a lot of things choking you as a founder. How do you do that? Aside, I'm one of the people that will say, oh, get tools that can help you with time management, use Google Calendar and this, that. But we see that a lot of founders, even with all these tools, they still lack proper time management. So what I'm going to say is get you an assistant that can help you. Get an assistant that is willing to accept the pay that you can pay for your level or for whatever level it is that you're at. Get an assistant to help with these things, to help you manage your time and relieve you of the stress of admin and operational work. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nora. Thank you so much, Nora. Okay, so I do appreciate the way you responded to the first question. It makes a lot of sense. I believe definitely the audience are also learning a lot from what you said too. We're going to the second question, and the second question says, what are some possible ways founders can use to transfer the vision of our organization to the team? What are some possible ways a founder can use to transfer the vision of our organization to the team?
Okay. When I was talking earlier, I talked about in modeling, I said that there are three M's: mindset, modeling, and multiplication. And so in modeling, one of the key things is communication. There's no such thing as over communication, but there's something called under communication, like you're not really communicating or you're not even communicating at all. So founders, one of the ways is communication. Communicate the vision. Communicate the vision. Let it be known. Let it be heard. Let it be seen. Let it be written boldly. Wherever, whether it's a physical organization, it's a physical organization, let it be written boldly. When people step into the organization, this is who we are. This is what we stand for. This is our vision. It is a remote first organization. In every meeting, in every weekly sync, let it be at the end or at the beginning of the document in the weekly sync. Communicate this vision clearly. All of your activities should revolve around this culture, this vision, so that everyone knows when you're hiring new team members, tell them, I had an interview one time, and the beginning of the interview, I was told, this is who we are, this is what we stand for, this is this, so we are interviewing for this. That was the preamble, that was the beginning, the introduction for the interview. And I was excited. I'm like, oh wow, this is the kind of organization that is interviewing me. So let people know right from, even when you're hiring a new team, from interview phase to onboarding phase, let it be known this is who we are. The next thing is storytelling. You can involve the use of stories, company storytelling. Why? In your organization workspace, you can have a water cooler section that helps the that can help you as a founder to chip in some small things to say, oh, this was in 2004 we launched this product, this is what it looked like. Bring in throwbacks. This is how it was when we first started. People get to feel like they're a part of something. Oh, this is how it was. Wow, this is how you guys started. Wow, this is nice. And then you get to say, oh, this is where we are headed. You get to tell, let it be interesting. Let there be a channel, or even on the company WhatsApp page or whatever channel you use, Slack, ClickUp, let there be a channel that is for water coolers, for you to, tell. It's like an informal way of passing the vision subtly, so that the employees get to know that this is what we stand for. And then the company culture. Create a culture that revolves around the vision and the values of the organization. Create a culture. When people come into the organization, they come and meet the culture. It's what they meet that they will imbibe. It's what they meet that they will flow along with. So create a culture that says, this is us. We're a people who stand for excellence right from the first task. You give the person a first task and the person does a shabby work, rather than just accepting it and say, oh, it's just a newbie, he or she will get used to it later. No, correct that. This is who we are. We stand for excellence. This is what we do. These are our core values. These are our culture. Do you have a problem with it? you know let it be known that this is our culture, and then involve the people in creating a culture. Involve the people in creating a culture. Involve the people in creating the culture of the organization. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nora. Thank you so much. I do appreciate this. Yeah. Okay. The next question is, what are some skills that young founders need to have to thrive?
I think that there are a lot of skills, but I'll just mention a few. One of which is leadership and team building. Leadership cannot be overemphasized. Leadership is a skill, it is not inbuilt. Yes, we know that we have charismatic leaders who are very charismatic right from birth, or that's who they are. They exude a very nice charisma. But leadership is a skill that can be learned. You can learn to be a leader. You can grow in leadership. And so, leadership and team building, ability to inspire and motivate people and guide people is a skill. And I think every founder should have that. Another thing is resilience. You have to be resilient. Every founder should be resilient. The ability to face challenges headlong, the ability to bounce back from failures, the ability to learn and keep learning. You can never stop learning as a founder. And which brings me to the third thing, being teachable, ability to be teachable. You're able to learn. You're able to, because you can never outgrow learning. Founders who never learn, who cannot easily adapt to the current trends, will easily go extinct. And so it's better that you just keep learning and learning and learning. And then financial literacy. How literate are you? Do you understand the basic principles of running an organization, or of finance in running an organization? From do you You don't need to know so much, but the basics, do you understand that? Another skill you must have as a founder is sales. Are you a salesman? Yes, they say, oh, I'm a founder. But before you get the right team, you should be able to talk to people. In fact, selling your organization to the right team members for them to join your organization as an employee is sales. Because you should be able to sell the organization to me in a way that it encourages me to want to join you. And so, an organization, a founder should be a great salesperson. That's one key quality of a founder. Are you able to sell the vision to people, or that product or that service to people, so much so that they will want to buy into it? So you should be
Awesome.
a good salesman. Yes. And these are just a few skills. There are a lot more, but these are the
All
basic
right.
skills.
Thank you so much once more, Nora. The last question says, what is the difference between a founder and a co-founder? And when is it ideal to request for a co-founder?
Okay. So yes, a founder and a co-founder, they are different. A founder is typically the person who comes up with the idea, or the original idea to say, oh, let's start a business, or that says let's start a business, that is involved in shaping the vision, crafting the vision, creating the vision. So yes, that's a founder. A co-founder is someone who partners with the founder to say, I like what you're building, I like this vision, I like this thing that you're doing. I have so and so skill, I can bring it in and we can make this thing bloom. So that's a co-founder. So a co-founder has specific skill sets. So you see most times when you look through LinkedIn or every other place, you see CEO and founder, COO and co-founder. You see people that their titles are COO slash co-founder, or COO slash CFO slash co-founder, like that, CRO. Co-founders have specific skill set that they bring to the founder, or they merge with the founder to make something worthwhile out of the business. And then when it is ideal to bring a co-founder is when the business requires specific skills. When you aside the fact that two people can come up and say, let's start this thing together, and then they'll just say, oh, you be the CEO, me, I'll be the co-founder, or you be the founder, I'll be the co-founder. Aside that, in cases where one person starts a business as a founder and is thinking, this work is becoming too much for me, I need somebody, or I need somebody who is good in this area and that area so that I can focus on this particular area. That's when a co-founder comes in. So co-founder, when is it ideal to request for a co-founder? It is when the business requires specific skills or expertise that you don't have. Example, technical skills like marketing. You see, for tech businesses, you see that the co-founders are usually CTOs. You know, chief technical officer. They are usually CTOs or chief technology officer, and you see that that person has a different skill set from the founder. And so another time when you bring in a co-founder is when you need a reliable partner to scale the company. When you are scaling and you want to share the workload and you believe that you can't do this alone, you want somebody there. You need somebody that can, you can do this together with when you are scaling. That's another time to bring in a co-founder. And then the last time to bring in a co-founder is when you want someone who believes in the vision and someone who you can be accountable to. It also applies to, I think I can mention that as a B for scaling, but when you see somebody that you can be accountable to, someone who truly believes in what you're doing, who is invested in what you're doing, who wants to see what you're doing grows, in fact, who shares similar goals with you, and then I think you can bring in that person as a co-founder. So when is the right time? When you are scaling and you need to share the workload, it requires a certain skill set that you don't have, and you feel that you don't want the person to just be an ordinary team member. You want person to be at a C-suite level. Then yes.
Once more, thank you so much, Nora, Bawa. Do appreciate this opportunity. I do appreciate having you in this our program. It's not really easy, but we thank God that you are here and you never disappointed us. And you developed this. You have this confidence that no matter what, we come out strong. And definitely, we're able to come out strong, and things came out well. Well, to everyone watching, like our speaker has said, you need to develop visionary leadership. Visionary leadership is very much important in your organization, and you need to know how to collaborate in that organization. Learn to collaborate effectively is very important. Communicate. There is nothing like over communication. Constantly communicate whatsoever thing on your mind. Just keep doing it. Keep doing it. Learn how to manage your time in that organization. Learn how to manage your time. Time is a very huge factor. If you are giving people roles, try to set deadlines. Tell them that this role has to be done within this time. Then also we talked about financial literacy. Financial literacy is very much important in every organization. There's no way you want to have an organization where you run into losses. No, you don't need to run into losses. You actually need to see how you can intentionally build that organization and also work with your teammates, just like you said. And there's one thing I actually want to say about our speaker today. Our speaker is very consistent, and every day I keep reading her posts, and I'm inspired by a lot of things she talks about. And I feel a lot of young individuals out there need to look up to such an individual, because there's so much out there. There's so much we have to learn. But because we decide to always just relax, feel there's nothing going on around the world, we feel things are just normal. Don't know that we have gone past this age of just using notes and all that. We have gone past that age. We are now in an age where we are now in the digital era. So how well have you developed yourself to work in this digital era? So that's one major thing that a lot of young individuals need to know. And you don't need so much money. You don't need so much resources to become a founder. One thing is you need the idea. You need the idea, and you need the vision, which is your foresight. And this will help you to become the best version of yourself. Definitely, you can thrive. You can do well. But all you just need is proper guidance and mentorship. This is what will help you to grow and do your best in this year. So definitely, once more, I want to appreciate Nora Bawa. I do appreciate you. And to everyone watching this live, do well to follow her on LinkedIn. You can follow her on LinkedIn. You can follow her on her page. You can reach out to her. She's very good at what she does. That's one way. This is a very perfect way to market yourself, and she did well in that category. Once more, thank you so much, Nora Bauer. Then our next training, which is going to be,
Thank you.
thank you so much, Nora. So our next training is going to be on Sunday, the 4th of May, and it's going to be about servant leadership, steps to build servant leadership, right? So a lot of us don't really know what this is all about. So we are going to be learning about servant leadership, right? And a great speaker is going to be talking to us on that day. And it's going to be by 3 p.m., just like we usually do, 3 p.m. West African time. So do well to inform your friends, And also we have a WhatsApp group as well, a WhatsApp group where we communicate and we discuss on certain things, where we impact people and all that. So you feel free to be part of the WhatsApp group and also communicate, share your problems, and definitely you get solutions to the problems. Also, we are going to be starting a secondary school mentorship program from next month, which is May. We're going to be invading, we're going to be reaching out to secondary schools in Abia State. So do well to be actively involved in this. If you want to be part of it, you can reach out to me and you will be part of the activity, the part of the program. If you want to volunteer in it, you can also reach out to me. Then okay, so I do appreciate everyone once more. And also shout out to our sponsor, Oliver Wena Netiga from Germany, the founder of Longting Enterprises. Shout out to the CEO of that consultants. Shout out to Dashani Sibakuma. Shout out to Kilore Michael. Shout out to all our great members and supporters all over the world. We do appreciate you all. So our great speaker, if there is anything you want to say in just 1 minute, an advice for young Nigerians, young persons all over the world watching you, just share it before we wrap up.
Thank you for having me here today. I like to say that leadership is about leading yourself first and being able to lead before leading others. So you have to be able to lead yourself first before you can lead others. So in the bid to lead others, please know yourself, dear leader. Know thyself. That's all I'll say. Thank you.
All right, thank you once more, Nora. We look forward to greater collaborations. Hopefully, the next collaboration will be a bigger and better one. Once more, thank you so much everyone, for being
Yeah,
with us
thank
on this
you.
live. Thank you for your time and thank you for your efforts. We do appreciate it. Thank you so much.